Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Collins coming to you from semi-cloudy San Antonio, Texas, the second most powerful, passionate, and purposeful coach and speaker in the world. Hope you guys are fired up and ready for a great Thursday today. Do you walk your talk? Do you walk your talk? It's that simple. You know, John Maxwell says that leadership, a lot of people are confused about what leadership is. A lot of people are not certain what leadership is, and many people wonder what true leadership really is. Well, if you listen to John Maxwell, he nails it. True leadership is nothing more, nothing less than influence. True leadership is nothing more, nothing less than influence. All of you know leaders who are positional leaders. They may have the title, they may have the job, they may have the position, and yet because they have not earned the respect of their peers or their colleagues, they're truly being followed simply because of their title. This is the lowest and weakest form of leadership. True leadership is influence. And how do you gain influence? Well, one of the ways that I have discovered in the years of researching and studying people and human psychology is that you've got to walk your talk. Simply meaning that what you say is what you live. And many times, the way you live eliminates the need for you to say anything at all. Your ability to walk your talk is what gives you the credibility over time to have that influence in another man or woman or child's life. It doesn't come from what you say. You've heard the old saying, what you do speaks so loudly I can't hear what you're saying. Zig Ziglar spoke about it from time to time. He remembered when he was writing the book, See You at the Top, when you can do anything in life you want if you just think strongly enough. You can't do everything with positive thinking, but you can do everything better than negative thinking will allow you to. And he realized, he said, I looked down at my belly and I realized that someday I might be called out on stage and someone would say, well, Mr. Ziglar, do you really believe what you say? Do you really believe you can have what you want, do what you want, and be who you want by putting your mind in that area? And he'd say, I would say yes. And they'd say, well, why are you a fat boy, Mr. Ziglar? And that began his journey of weight loss, because you see, Zig understood something, that credibility came from walking the talk. Do you walk your talk? Do you walk your talk? And I'll tell you something I'm excited about. Somebody told me the other day, they complimented me, and I heard a man say this recently. He said, all my failures are my fault, and all my successes are God's fault. And I like that. And I'm going to just say it like this straight up. They said, Steve, I really appreciate your influence in my life because you actually walk the talk. And I was crazy, fired up that morning, and I said, no, baby, I don't walk the talk, I run the talk. And what I mean by that is I run with it. And I'm going to ask you to run with it. A dear friend of mine last night was on a long 10-hour flight and said, I'm taking questions, a brilliant young man, brilliant coach, and said, I'm taking questions, I'll answer them. And I began to really think, this is a man who, like me, lives in the question zone. And I thought, what would be a poignant, powerful question? Because I determine the power of my questions by how long it takes the hearer to answer. The longer it takes, the more powerful the question. And I simply said, you're given 6 months to live. What do you do? And I may ask you the same thing. You're given 6 months to live. What do you do? You don't have time to walk your talk, baby. Sometimes you've got to run that talk. Sometimes you've got to step up and bring it strong and bring it powerful and bring it sooner than anybody else expected. You know, there's a bold law that says all work expands to fill the time allowed. What is the time you're allowing to follow the dreams in your heart? What is the time you're allowing to pursue the things that you believe in? What is the time you're allowing? And I'm going to prove that I walked the talk this morning. I'm going to go live when I do our team meeting today at 9 a.m. and I'm going to do something that, to my knowledge, has never, ever, 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 ever been done in a sales meeting, ever. We should have at least 130, 140 real estate agents in that room. It will be memorable, it will be poignant, and it will be powerful because it has never, to my knowledge, ever been done. It's risky. It's gutsy. There's going to be lovers and there's going to be haters. Nobody's going to be on the line when I step in that room this morning. There will be no neutral zone. There is no Switzerland. You're going to love it or you're going to hate it. And that's part of following your dreams and following your goals and running the talk, not just walking the talk. So my challenge to you is today, that question. If you had 6 months left on this earth, what would you do? If you had 6 months left on this earth, what would you do? My team meeting this morning is going to be because I partially answered that question. I said, if I had 6 months, I would take everything to a radical level. And I would just go all out, balls to the wall. I would not care in the least bit because I know I'm coming from contribution to serve and to build and to grow and inspire and lead and motivate and to cause people's hearts to be changed in their chests, to give them the courage to do the things that they've been putting off. What if you had 6 months to live? What would you do? And I'm going to end on this. Well then, friend, get to doing it. None of us is guaranteed tomorrow. And if your life's dream can be fulfilled in your lifetime, maybe you're just not thinking big enough. There are others who will come after you. Do you walk the talk? Nothing wrong with that. But sometimes you got to run the talk. I hope you check in at 9 a.m. for the live feed. It's going to be crazy. I love y'all and have a great day.